You know, when I look at the Palestinians today, I see the Jews from 2000 years ago. And before you get mad at me, let me explain. So, both nations catastrophically lost wars that they started. In the case of the Jews, it was the Great Jewish Rebellion of 66. In the case of the Arabs, it was the Arab-Israeli War 48. Both led to massive displacement, to national humiliation, but not to total destruction. In both cases, those were followed by a period of international terrorism. In the case of the Jews, it was the Kitos War of 115, during which the Jews rebelled, the Jewish communities rebelled in Greece, in North Africa, in Mesopotamia. And in the case of the Arabs, it was decades of plane hijackings, hostage taking, bombing in Europe, South America, the Middle East, not just Israel, all over the Middle East. So I had these periods of terrorism. And in both cases, the response was wrong. Because what did the Romans do? They basically expelled the Jews, the radical Jewish elements from Europe, back to Judea, which turned a relatively pacified region into a deadly trap. And what did Israel do? Israel withdrew from Gaza. It said, you do you. And in both cases, it allowed a defeated enemy to build back his power. And in both cases, even on a tactical level, it was done in the same way, by digging tunnels. Because what did Bar Kokhba do before the rebellion? His people dug thousands of tunnels all over Judea. He didn't have a single town that wasn't full of tunnels. And the Romans were not experiencing tunnel warfare, and they would often get literally stuck in the tunnels, in their big armor with their shields. They didn't know how to fight against foes who used tunnels. So they did eventually defeat the Jews and brought absolute destruction on them. But they suffered very heavy casualties. It was a much more difficult war than it would have been if they didn't make this mistake. And the same thing happened in Gaza. And after the war, Judea was annihilated and renamed Palestine. And I don't know how the war in Gaza is going to end, but Gaza does not look good right now. It's the most destruction any Arabs who fought against Israelis have ever suffered. So it's amazing how similar those two histories are. People say history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. So in both cases, you have a big war followed by massive displacement. You have a period of international terrorism. You have tunnel digging. You have an even bigger war, and you have destruction. Think about it.